Welcome to QZenith video tutorials. Hi guys, hope you're doing great, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can verify the hardware and resources in Parrot operating system. So let us start with some basic system information commands. Here is my command line interface, and then I'm going to type the first command. It's going to be ls-cpu. So this is the command again for viewing the CPU information, the central processing unit. So if I'm going to hit enter, there you can see CPU information. So I'm going to scroll up a bit. ls-cpu, that's the command, the architecture of the CPU model, and then the either size. Everything about CPU is mentioned over here. Again, the model name, such as I'm using Ryzen 7, and this is my series Ryzen 7 5800H with Radeon graphics. A lot of information, including the cache information and more details regarding CPU on this specific system. Now, let me show you another command, which is ls-PCI. So to view the peripheral component interface information, so I'm going to hit enter, and it gives you the overview of the PCI slots information and also the USB information. So everything related to the peripheral component interface or the peripheral devices that are connected to this specific system. So you can see these are the information, or it could be some kind of USB is connected to your system, or how many USB ports are there. So it shows you that information as well. So as of now, this is my virtual machine, which is again the operating system installed in this VMware Workstation. So it's showing you the details based upon VMware Workstation Pro. I've got another command. So if you only wanted to see the USB information, ls-USB, and then hit enter, and it only shows you the USB information. So this is it. If you've got any kind of devices connected to the system, the USB, it's going to be seen over here, or you can view it over here. And another command, it's going to be free space -h. So this actually shows you the RAM information. So you can see the memory, it's 3.8 gigabytes of size. That means almost 4 gigabytes of memory installed for this specific machine. Use 2.1 gigabytes, free 894 megabytes. Shared this, buffer 1.2 gigabytes, and then available 1.7 G. There's another thing called as swap. Now this swap partition, we haven't configured it. So if we configure it, it actually takes it from the hard disk. So if I say I am using multiple applications and if I'm out of RAM, so what it does is, if I'm going to open up a new application, that new application is going to be used by my RAM, and the programs that are minimized or not used, though it is already been open, it is going to be shifted towards the swap partition. Now this swap partition is actually taken from the hard disk. So again, the alternative, I would say the RAM information. So if you have got 4 GB of RAM, you can set it as 2 or 4 GB of swap partition, which is again taken from the hard disk space, and it again works as a RAM. So if your RAM is consumed totally, you can use the swap partition. In Windows, it is known as paging file. And to view the disk usage, I would say we can run df space -h and then hit enter. It shows you the file system, the size that it is actually using, such as used sizes, available sizes, use of it, and with what it has been mounted on. So it shows you all the information, such as it's the SDA. So if I say SDA, it's the primary hard disk that is installed in your system, and then one is partition. So if I say if it's SDA2, that means it's the second partition. And maybe it also can be seen as SDB. Now SDB, that means that's another hard disk integrated in your system. If you have got SDA and then SDB, you have got two different hard disks, and each of those hard disks may have different partition. So SDA1, that means in primary hard disk you've got first partition. So if I say if I've got SDB1, maybe it's the secondary hard disk but the first partition on that hard disk. So make sure that file systems, sizes, and all this kind of stuff, you view it clearly over here, and what directories and partitions are consuming, how much of size is there, how much it has been used, and how much is available. Everything is mentioned over here. And if you wanted to see the disk again, the block devices, the storage details, you can use the command lsblk. So list out the block size, space minus F, and then hit enter. So again, SDA, I already said that SDA, it's the primary hard disk. And if I've got SDA1, that means first partition on that specific primary hard disk. This is the unique identity of that specific partition, and then available information, used information, and then mount points information. That means if you save any kind of information on /home, it is going to be saved on that specific first partition of the primary hard disk. You can also run the command DMI decode. That means it actually shows you the BIOS information as well as the motherboard details. So let me rewrite it again. DMI decode, and it should run as the root privilege. Hit enter, and then QZenith password, hit enter, and it shows you the basic input output system, the BIOS information, as well as the motherboard information. So a lot of information is there. These informations are actually related to the BIOS and the motherboard details. Now, if you wanted to see everything, the commands that I've run, and if you wanted to see everything in a single command, what you can do is you can run this command inxi space dash fxz and then hit enter. So this is a quick command that is again the all-in-one command, shows you everything over here. So you've got the system kernel, the desktop, the machine information, the type, the mobile model, and all this kind of stuff, the CPU information, the graphics information, and we've got a lot of information such as the audio device information, network information, the drives information, the partition that are created on this specific system, the swap partition, the information based upon the memory, the processor, the packages, and all this kind of stuff. This is a friendly command, the inxi space dash fxz, the quick command to view all information with a single command. And you can run the top command as well. Hit enter. It shows you the real-time monitoring, the services that are running at the background of the system. It's just like the task manager in Windows, the services that are running. And by running this top command, you can see you've got the CPU's information, you've got the memory information, you've got the swap partition information. Everything is seen over here. The running process IDs, user that is running that specific process, the CPU that it's been consumed, the command, the time, everything showing in real time. And if you wanted to exit out from this specific top view, you can just hit Q to exit out. Another famous command is htop and then hit enter. Similar to top command, but again, this is real-time monitoring and it's an advanced command showing you a lot of information in details. The memory, the CPU's information, consuming, load average, uptime, the system uptime, and you can see the process ID, the user that is running that process, what kind of process are running at the background, how much CPU it's been consuming, how much memory it's been consuming, a lot of information over here as well. So again, this is htop, similar to top, but again, htop shows you real-time monitoring, an advanced version of top command. So this is all about hardware and resources. This is how you verify your hardwares that are connected to your system, and you can verify it and you can see what processes are running, a lot of things. So this is it in this video. Hope it was informative for you. I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.